I want to give a shout out to Dr. Ramon Goings and the Done Dissertation. You can find them at www.thedonedissertation.com. Please check him out. He has been successful in moving, if you're in the dissertation stage, he has been successful in moving people along and getting them to graduate and get their dissertation done. Not just a done dissertation, but a dissertation that you can be proud of. A dissertation that you know you put the actual effort into. I didn't discover till later on that a lot of people were actually doing some backdoor dissertations and finding cheap way outs and things like that as a means by which to just get a done dissertation. He's not about that. You actually put in the quality work, but he gives you the curriculum, the strategies, the motivation, and he stays on top of you so that you can actually get your work done in record time. He has a book out called The 14 Secrets to a Done Dissertation, and I encourage all of you, check it out. Check him out. Check out his webpage, check out his social media. You can either find it on Done Dissertation on all social media platforms, or you can just find Dr. Ramon Goings and shoot him a quick DM and say, hey, I heard of you from My Advantage, from the doctoral dissertation, for the doctoral journey with Derek. And I'm interested in figuring this out. I'm coming up on my dissertation period, or I'm in and I'm lost. He is a person who can throw you the life raft if you're lost. So once again, Dr. Ramon Goings, the Done Dissertation. You can find him at www.thedonedissertation.com and check out his services. It's worthwhile. He has plenty of testimony to prove that. So the next part of this we want to talk about is establishing a reading routine. If you do not have a reading routine, I really want to ask you how you're doing it. How you getting along, or are you getting along? Your reading routine cannot be random. It cannot be something you do when you get a certain urge or feeling. It has to be strategic. It has to be well thought out. In order to do that, you have to know and establish this routine. I'm going to give you 3 essential principles to think about. First is making time for reading. You have to actually make time for reading. It is a thing that has to be done. Second thing is setting weekly rather than daily goals. Weekly goals are more accomplishable. Daily goals are a setup for procrastination and defeat. And the third part 3, is plan according to your energy levels. And what your energy levels are is going to be of utmost importance. So planning according to your energy levels. So let's review the 3 before we dive deep. First is making time for reading. Second is setting weekly rather than daily goals for reading. And third is planning according to your reading energy levels. And you have to know what your energy levels is. And part of this I can't give you. You got to know your body clock. So let's dive first to the first thing, make time for reading. First, know the type of environment that you need to read. If you're one who reads in the bed laying down, and I've tried that, if you can do that without falling asleep, then that works for you. Know that that's your environment that you need for reading. Some people need white noise in the background. If you know that that's who you are, then plan that in your reading environment. If you need absolute silence, that's me, then create the environment that you need. That's a key point. When you know the type of environment that you can read in, create that environment. Don't let that environment be chance. Don't let that environment be, okay, I'm gonna sit on the couch or sit at the dinner table, start reading, and my kids come running through, and next thing you know, I can't concentrate. Or I have Maury on or something else on, and that information is so salacious that I gotta pay attention to that too. And then 20 minutes later, you're back at the second sentence. Don't create an environment that is not conducive to your reading needs. So find that environment, know the type of environment you need, and then actively create that environment. The last part of this, making time for reading, is actually blocking time to read according to your energy level. So say, for example, you're working all day, but there's a period of time when you have high energy that you don't have a lot to do. And you can go into your office, shut everything out, and then block out time. That is an environment you created in order to do your reading. So once you have that, and you're in that particular situation, I want you to think of this. One article is equivalent to 1 hour of reading. You can do some in about 30 to 45 minutes, sure. But given everything, I want you to look at this as 1 hour equals 1 article. I'm a slower reader than most, so I have to be very strategic. I have to be very thoughtful about how I read. But when I go into it, it is generally that idea of 1 article equals 1 hour. And doing that, if you can block out 2 to 3 hours daily, you can knock out 2 to 3 articles of reading. I'm going to suggest that you never do more than 3 articles, and I'll explain in a few minutes why. Now, once you've made time for reading, you've created that environment for reading, and you understand the principle of 1 article equals 1 hour. Then what you need to do is set your weekly goals for reading, not daily goals, weekly goals. Now, why would I opt for a weekly goal rather than a daily goal? One, it allows for your flexibility, and it allows for you to have an off day. If you do not plan an off day into your life, then you're not planning realistically. Anything can happen. You could be reading in your office and the fire alarm goes off. Well, then blew you for the day. You could be reading in your office, someone busts through. You could be working from home and you get a call that you got to go pick your kids up. You could get anything going on. You could actually get lost in Facebook, and that could throw your whole day off. Or anybody who comes along with a text or email with their bad news, remember, the people on the other side of that text or the other side of that email think you're home doing nothing, waiting for them to call you or contact you. So they hit you with some news and you open up the email and now your mind is blown. You've lost that day. Well, plan for that. Plan for that. Actually allow that level of flexibility, as long as it's not your daily routine. If it's your daily routine to get distracted like that, reevaluate your life. Figure out what you can cut out and what you don't need to cut out, and then get everyone understanding that this block of time is mine. You can contact me afternoon. So if your time is from 9 to noon, you block that out. Tell everyone else prior to 9 and afternoon, that's when you contact me. But in this block of time, it belongs to me. So, or just turn your phone off. There's also another solution if you want to think about it. Turn your phone off. But what this allows you to do, if you actually plan this way, and you're looking at a weekly goal, and you can do 2, maybe 3 articles a day, you can get anywhere from about 14 to maybe 18 articles done in a week. That's good. It's not excellent. It's not beautiful. You should get more than that, but I don't want you to stress yourself more. 14 to 18 articles a week to be read and noted and all of that, you are on an excellent trajectory to get work done. So just put yourself at that discipline. It's as simple as I've explained it. If you can block your time and create the environment that you need, you can easily get 12 to 14 articles done per week. Try not to exceed 3 articles in a day. And here's why. At some point in time, your energy is going to drain. So I'm not worried about how you do your first article and your second article. Your energy was there for those. Your third article, your energy is draining and your ability to extract information may be a little weaker. Definitely by that 4th article and 5th article, you're probably not getting much out of it because you're drained. Move on to another activity. Do 2 a day max. Try not to exceed 3. Only exceed 3 or do 3 if you have procrastinated a few other days and you can put the energy to actually do the 3rd article with just as much fidelity as you did article number 1. That's the routine you should be on. It's not over the top where you start losing information and forgetting information, and you're not underperforming where you're not getting everything you should be getting. But 2 articles a day, no more than 3, is a good sweet spot to be in. If you can do 3 articles a day for 7 days, you're at 21 articles. I'm asking you to do 14 to 18, which means you can actually lose a day and still be okay. So if you did 6 days a week at 3 articles a day, you're still at 18 articles. If you lose 2 days and you do 3 articles at 5 days a week, you're still at 15. So you have the flexibility with this plan. Work it. The third part of this is planning according to your energy levels. Now, if you've heard me before talk about energy levels, you know this. There are times of the day where you have high energy and you have low energy. There are activities you can do at each point, but what you do not want to do is do a high energy activity when you have low energy, because you will not do it well. And you don't want to waste time by doing low energy activities in moments where you have high energy, because here's the deal. All of your energy drains at the same speed. So if you do low energy activities when you have high energy, it's going to drain at the same speed that it would if you were doing a high energy activity. So you're wasting time. Look at energy like gas in a car. If you're going 60 miles an hour, your gas is going to drain. And if you're doing 30 miles an hour, your gas is still going to drain. It's just going to drain twice as slow. But if you're applying the right level of energy to the right activity, then you get a proper drainage. The energy is going to drain, the gas is going to drain no matter what. You're just going to stop at a different time, depending on how much you put into it. But you're still going to drain your energy. So keep it like that. Understand, low energy activities include things like gathering articles. You can do that without thinking a lot. Planning which articles to read for the next day doesn't take a whole lot. Entering references on your reference page. You should have a running reference page of all the articles that you're reading. Trust me, do that up front. Do not wait to the back end to get it done. And then things like reviewing previous notes. You can look through your notes from previous articles you read to kind of stay up on the topic. That's a low energy activity. It doesn't take a stretch to get that done. High energy activities are things like reading, note-taking, and writing. Those things are actual things you have to do. So the way I've designed it is this. If you're a morning person, like me, the night before, do your low energy activities in preparation for the morning. And then in the morning, you can jump right into your high energy activities and just keep going until you're out. And when you're out, acknowledge that you're out, shut it down. And then when you get your low energy activities, you then do the preparation for the next high energy activity. If you're a night person, then do your low energy activities in the morning or afternoon. And then in the evening, when you have high energy, knock it out. Handle your high energy activities. What you should not do is actually do low energy and high energy activities together. So if you forget to prepare last night, and then you wake up in the morning and you're a morning person, and you start doing low energy activities first, please remember, energy drains at the same rate. So by the time you finish all those low energy activities, regardless of the level of activity they were, you're still going to be drained by the time you get to your high energy activities. So let's say, for example, you got 3 hours of high energy, and you spend the first hour doing low energy activities. You set yourself up to do less than, because if you start at 8 and by 11 you're tapped out, you're still going to be tapped out at 11. Even if you do low energy activities for the first hour, it doesn't change. You're going to be tapped out at 11. You just did 2 hours of real work when you could have done that energy last night at low energy times, and then maximize all 3 of those hours for high energy activity. Simple as that. Know your energy levels, and then know how to align activities to those energy levels.